This is our top 8 match of the Texas Materia Cup, brought to you by Lone Star Pack Breaks, hosted on Gulo2's channel, who's kind enough to jump on for some color commentary with me. And we are off to the races. Both of these decks, if it is in fact Ice Earth versus Earth Lightning, more slower setup pressure decks, or not pressure, slower setup decks that they want to get set up, get into their kind of lockout states, whether it's through X-Death or Scale Toad Unalesca, and try to grind the other player down.
It is indeed Ice Earth versus Earth Lightning. Taking a quick peek at Ryan's list here, trying to see if there's anything super interesting.
I'm usually hot in these card shops, so when I see someone wearing a hoodie like that, I'm always like, oh man, I'm sweating just looking at you. Granted, I don't know. You're there. Is the temperature? Was it nice, warm, cool?
I'm actually cold. I wish I had
a
really?
jacket in this. They probably got the AC pumped
I'd
way
be
up.
blasting the AC to keep the larger space cool. But I'm in a separate room from everyone else so that people can't hear me talking. So
I'm sure it's a hot day in Texas.
And that it is.
So it's hot up here in St. Louis. Outside. Yeah.
Some fun cards in Ryan's list. We're on the Astroprota Florian as our backup breaking monster of choice.
Nice. Haven't seen that card in a minute.
And Opus 11 Sephiroth, 1 copy.
The Dark Legend?
Yes, that should be the Dark Legend Sephiroth.
All right.
Definitely
Mr. 10K break anything.
So then for Michael Powell's list,
Ryan is going first, draws a Geomancer into hand. Looks like he may possibly also have a Biblos, so we know we can at least get an Earth backup down. Could put out Biblos early if we want. I'd be surprised if Michael has a ton of backup destruction. I guess that's a crystal counter. It's some sort of Yu-Gi-Oh card. You would know what that is.
That's a Yu-Gi-Oh token. Yeah.
Okay. He's gonna synchro summon on his next turn. Pretty good opening for Ryan.
Knowing that you use tokens to synchro summon with,
right?
I thought you knew nothing about Yu-Gi-Oh.
I know a little here and there, a little. Ryan has a good start with 2 crystals, or I guess synchro tokens in this case. And he is color fixed. That feels good. We are going to put out Seymour, put something on top of our deck, presumably that we want to draw. I can't imagine there's any haste in Ryan's deck, so yeah, you don't have to worry about getting hit. Does go ahead and show off the Hekaton Kyre. Ryan does have plenty of backups to avoid this, such as these 2-cost crystal generators as well as Unalesca. However, if he were to put down something like Iridia, like a Shantoto, Hekaton can come in and just sweep it up nice and easy.
It's definitely been interesting seeing what people end up stacking to the deck with that Seymour. I've always kind of wondered how much you really want to stack that, because it does like sort of lock what your draw is.
Right, it guarantees. But again, if you want to see that summon, obviously it's great if you can stack a burst on top and you know they're going to attack. Ryan puts out Nero, goes and searches out a Weiss, and is probably happy to just take his time, set up his backups here, and pass to his opponent. Weiss will likely come down next turn, potentially locking out this Seymour and anything else we have. Now, we do have the Hekaton in hand, so we could hit this Nero right now and just say, nope, try again.
Yeah, but I mean, how worth it is that? I mean, I guess like it stops the discard on the Weiss, which probably feels pretty nice. But
and the Dolphreeze.
I mean, you also give him the ability to play another Nero, and you know he's going to be on 3 of those things.
Yeah, but that takes extra. If he can do that and still get a backup out, I'm 100% in favor of that.
It definitely depends on what's in hand, but yeah.
If he just does that and pass, that doesn't feel nearly as good, which he ended up doing. So, but then again, if he also didn't have a better play there, I mean, what else do you put out a forward? That's not going to do anything. So. There's Kusith. He says, all right, take 2. We're repeating turn 2. He doesn't play it out, though. Yeah. He doesn't play it out, just opts to hold on and pass.
I mean, and Ice Earth is totally okay with going slow, so that makes
it's going
to be a very strange matchup, actually.
Well, I'll say both of them are in, neither of them are in a rush to do anything.
And we did see the Chaos Arc actually did not look bad at all against Ice Earth earlier on stream.
Yeah. Granted, it had the speed of wind behind it, so I don't know if it's going to be different with the slow nature of Earth lightning, but we'll see. Vincent could plop down now. There's probably not a whole lot of just 5 costs you're going to ping the Vincent with anyway, so you probably want some Earth backup. Yep, Vincent for Vincent. Presumably Nero is going to come down. We'll go ahead and get ourselves another Weiss. We have to throw out our second Biblos. Have to be a little mindful as our opponent does have Mist Dragons, so we could stop a Larketius revival, but we will get another Weiss, and I don't know Ryan's hand size, but if he's over limit, could very well see that Weiss coming down this turn to lock out that Vincent. Which, yep. No, it's Rydia. Okay, nice. We get our third crystal, and other than Nero, we're protected from any kind of backup breaking at the moment. Which does mean Ryan will have to draw into Unalesca naturally, not going for the Rydia.
I mean, you can always play the Rydia later, crack one of the backups, and then play.
Hey, Gabranth, man, used to see this card all the time around Opus 9, 10, 11, and then it kind of fell off, but looks like it's making a bit of a resurgence. So Gabranth will let us go search out any forward from our deck of cost 5 or more. Man in Black, of course, being a key target. I'm honestly, I don't know what it would leave him with in hand. I'm not opposed to putting down Man in Black right now and just getting that Mist Dragon on demand, or even the Hecaton.
Oh, yeah, both. I mean, the Hecaton, I think, is less important than even the Mist Dragon, especially when you see those 2 Biblos in the break zone. That's got to be really...
Yeah. Well, I was just thinking because of the Nero, like you could Hecaton on the stack of the Nero, but I don't think he would have had enough CP for all that. Because, yeah, here comes... No? He almost put Vice out. Okay. It's just tapping differently. Good call. He's like, just in case he were to break this, let's do it this way. Yep. Discards an Arc. There goes Mr. Vincent. And Ryan has more crystals than his Yu-Gi-Oh! Synchro counter can hold. Other than Nero, he's completely protected himself from that backup destruction. Says, nope, not going to deal with me. Of course, we can break one of these later if we do see Unalesca.
How many of these backups are we on?
I mean, must be quite a few. Either that or he just drew, he's 2 of each and he drew into all of them.
So I've started to see Ice Earth shave down on these, where you're on 5 or even 4 of them sometimes. This could very well be every single one of these in the deck.
Here comes the Man in Black. Galaxy Defender. Gosh, I love that movie. Yeah, and there you go. There's that prepped Mist Dragon saying, just in case you try to do anything, I just want you to know that this is sitting here.
Man in Black's also a little bit tricky. I mean, we can always dull freeze him, which is not bad, but...
Which is likely going to happen here, unless we want to hit the backup still.
A lot of the ping in Ice Earth really only goes up to 8k.
Ooh, get an X-Death out of the game. Yep, get rid of Man in Black. Or not get rid of, but dull freeze him out of the way. Take a point of damage. It is a Hecaton Kyre. That would have been terrible to play. You'd lose your own Gabranth, but you get the Vice off the field. And Ryan's still with 2 backups open as well, so he can possibly do his own Mist Dragon if needed. Yeah, we're going to play our own Rydia. He says, all right, well, you might be scared to play Rydia, but I'm not going to be. Going to fetch out... Do we have presumably another copy of Seymour or Rydia? Unless there's some other summoner I'm unaware of in this list.
It's a little tricky. I don't know what... I mean, if you have to search another Rydia, like what lightning summons we'd really want in this matchup? I mean, I guess like the...
So he gets the Seymour because he wants the Hecaton Kyre.
Say the Ramu would be nice potentially, but we're not really seeing like a Biblos or anything like that.
Robel Akbel for Ryan would be great here. It's primed with every crystal possible.
Well, that's true. We do have that to deal with our good friend Man in Black.
Lady of Antiquity, and there's our Skeletoad. Going to say, hey, if Skeletoad and Vice are on the field together at the end of the turn, I'm going to start eating away at your board, sir. All Ryan's missing is the Unalesca, and he'll have... I wonder if it would have been worth it for him to play the Rydia earlier. Like, he'd already expended the Hecaton Kyre. You go get your Unalesca. If he wants to then take time at that point to break it. Did we miss Dragon? Or no, it's still sitting there. Okay. I didn't see it for a second because of the glare. So we have Hecaton. I don't know what else we have in there. Arc. Oh, yeah. Hey, that's a good card. That's a good card to suspend. And take out our opposing Mr. Egan. It makes a nice little L shape there at the edge of the playmat. Almost like a knight in chess, which is kind of appropriate. Mr. Egan's kind of looks like a horse, even though it's a dragon. Tapping 3. Are we going to do big Hecaton here? The Ramu can't deal with the Scale Toad, right? Oh, we play Arc. Okay. And we still have enough, I think, to prevent the Krista from activating. So yeah, we can't activate the Krista. Give our opponent the Vice. Mr. Weiss, Mr. Edelweiss. And we're going to pass. Here's the Scale Toad trigger. And we pitch big Hecaton Kyre. Good time
really
for a Shantoto.
Now that, I mean, the Shantoto would be really a choice. Although, can we have a Geomancer, yes.
Yeah, the Geomancer's the easy Kraken. Which looks like that's what's going to happen. Yep. Yeah. We all saw this one
Sometimes you're
coming.
just good at card games, you know?
Right? Michael's like, wait, hold on. Am I potentially not? No, yes, no. Yes, the parrot. Goodbye, Nero and Rydia. Oh, Toto.
Didn't get the dream of using the dull freeze off of a stolen Weiss.
Right. Maybe one day. Krista now has enough to go in for damage. And we hit a little reverse Toto into damage.
Probably pretty happy to see that one go, if we're being totally honest.
Does Michael have any way to deal with these monsters? I know Ramu, but Ramu only hits 2 or less, right? So does he have anything to deal with
2 or less. I don't know how many outs we have to Toad.
Okay. So that's pretty good for Ryan if he knows he doesn't even have to worry about it potentially dying.
Because most Earth Lightning lists aren't on Fenrir, because there's just not a lot of great 2-drop Earth cards when you're not running Sophie or Sarah Mobius.
Yeah. Well, Fenrir would look good against this board state. Take out Nero and the Toad, which sounds like a children's fable. Nero and the Toad.
So this has to be a pretty decent situation for Ryan, too, because I think Michael also isn't on the full 3 Chaos. So that those arcs are going to start to be a little bit brickier over time.
Here comes Big Bad X Death. Do we have enough to get to 20? Plus the other 2 cards that are still removed. Is that enough?
It's quite a few. We'll find out in a bit here.
Ryan, of course, can easily just sack off one of these crystal generators. Yep, looks like he does. Steph gonna start very slowly putting in work, but Robel off the top will also just make quick work of Mr. X Death. We have Unilesk in hand. I think I did see the Robel. Yeah, here he comes.
Kryl and Vanille would also be pretty solid.
No, it's Vice. Well. Okay. I assumed it was gonna be Mr. Akbel. We've got 1 card in hand. We could do something like it's a Mr. I would say we still have a Mr. Egg and we can use it anytime we want. Freeze the Vincent, take off the 7k ping. There's Unileska. Okay. Now we've got the state set up and Michael's top decking, so X Death being his only kind of hope here is that he can at least keep picking stuff off the board, but that's going to be a lot slower than Ryan's going to be able to apply pressure.
Still do probably want to find an out to it, though. It's going to be annoying to have this still kind of eating your board, even if it is doing this.
Maybe. I don't know, man. When you can Unileska Vice or Scale Toad every turn and just dull freeze it out of the way, I mean, you hit him twice, and then next turn he's already set up for lethal. I think you'll happily sacrifice a few crystal backups for that.
Yeah, but...
Assuming this game goes quickly, you're right that if it's sticking around for 3, 4, 5 turns, then...
And we do now have the Shantoto down, so...
Oh, that's true. Chaos is free. I was just thinking, I was like, Chaos is going to be too pricey, but...
No, Chaos is, he's a storm card at this point.
We cast Ixion for no effect just to avoid the Scale Toad. That's kind of funny. So we remove Shantoto to the X Death, which opens us up for another one. Not that we have any desire to do that.
I don't know how much I even like I almost feel like you overpay in hand just to empty the hand, because this Unalesca now it's about to rip your hand anyway. I mean, I guess like you make him do it, but he's going to be happy to. You're on 1 in hand. He's got like 4 here.
Yeah, I agree. Like like you said, you were just going to lose that anyway. Why not just do it there? And this way he
Or
can't
like just
trigger
cast the
the.
Mist Dragon, remove the break zone or something. Try to dig for something playable. Try to find your second chaos.
Oof, and there's the Physalis with the bullet. No extra discard, but this one's looking mighty over. Vice, there's a bonus burst. Can this save us? I mean, we'll get back X Death. That's not going to do a whole lot against this board state. But it will let us. No, we still don't have enough for a Toto if we draw it.
And the Chaos got RFG'd because of the Shantoto.
Yeah.
So we can't go get Chaos just to punish that Shantoto being on field.
Michael had a moment there where it looked
we
like.
Sacrificed the Shantoto to the Neo after the X Death even.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. And that's going to be a scoop.
Michael had a moment in there where he maybe had a shot, but he just. The Shantoto blowout was just too huge. Like if he'd been able to keep that Vice and the mana black for even one more turn.
Yeah.
We didn't start the timer, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I did not. We're just going to have it start and have it just going, you know? Plus or minus some number of minutes.
So knowing he doesn't have any real outs to these monsters, like what can Michael really do against a deck like this? Because it seems like Ryan's deck's just going to have a much better matchup here.
I mean, this seems like a really bad matchup in general, just given that Earth Lightning has never been a very fast archetype.
Yeah.
And the Ice Earth loves when it has time to just kind of slowly pick away at things. I really wonder if like turn 1 backup into a turn 2 Man in Black is the best thing we can be going for here, and just try to really, pressure with almost in the same way that we saw the Ice Wind player do with the Zidane.
Yeah.
Really try to get those cards where they're in a zone that's not his hand, but still able to be cast.
I'm assuming it's not in the list, but I remember Steve D would talk about like Durando, and he would use it for those purposes in these matchups where he's like, I got to go quick, put Durando out and start trying to get value off of it right away.
Yeah, the Trinity lasted about 1 opus exactly. The Durando, Prish, and Arciella.
Yeah, they did not stick around. Opening Nero, not quite as clean as the 2 backup with the crystal opening, but hold on, he might not be done yet. There you go. Yeah, you got a crystal. No Earth CP, but you still got. I don't think we used any of those crystals last game, did we?
We did not. They were just hanging out.
Ryan's like, I don't need those. Those are just for set decoration.
You were playing Final Fantasy. You got to have your 4 crystals for your 4 Warriors of Light, right?
Yeah. Again, if we can get like a lightning backup, a Seymour, and a Hecaton to break that Nero, I would really like this turn from Michael. Okay. So he is going to Hecaton, because why else would you pitch 3 for the Rydia? That's got to be what he's thinking here. Hecaton and Seymour. There's the Seymour. There's the Hecaton Kyre.
Yeah, I mean, you got to do what you got to do sometimes, but...
Well, and he's already pitched 1 Nero, so that means there's 1 Nero left in the deck.
Yeah. But when we're on the Kus hits, and we don't need the Nero for the Weiss to be a problem later.
Also true. Yeah, it's not 100% foolproof, but we'll see if it pays off for him. Hecaton, goodbye to Nero. Can we get a lightning backup as well? No, we did pitch Seymour, so I hope we have another form of lightning CP. There's Unalesca. We had to pay 3 for it, unfortunately. And goodbye, Astra Protoflorian. Guess we're not going to see him show up.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine if we really want him, we're going to come in anyway, rather than pay the 3 for him.
Yeah, that's true. There is Seymour. Ryan giving a gamble at what Seymour says exactly. Of course, you do not have to. You can fail to find, but Michael seems to value that. He's going to put this Mr. Mist Dragon right on top of his deck.
It's kind of fun seeing. It's one of the great things about an Eternal card game like this is when cards like this Seymour end up, starting to come back into the meta out of almost nowhere. This card was completely gone very shortly after I started playing in like Opus 12, Opus 13.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I said that in one of my videos. Like even Opus 1 cards, if you release something that supports it, lets you cast it for free, search it out, like it doesn't matter from Opus 1, they can still have a resurgence. Going for our own Rydia. Presumably we'll get another copy of either Rydia or Unalesca. And then our summon... Well, we're likely getting an Earth summon, yeah, Mist Dragon, so we're going to have to get Unalesca for our summoner.
Which is fine. We should get the Unalesca index still, most likely.
Yeah. And we'll use the Unalesca for the Unalesca effect. Unalesca pitches herself, and then Michael just throws out a spare Rydia.
Hey, we just use Unalesca special.
Yeah, right?
Discard a card.
Exactly. Ryan does have Unalesca online, so he's moving towards the game state he wants to be in. Michael does have 3 in hand and 3 backups to work with, so unless he just absolutely dead drew there, he should be able to progress his board state at least a little bit. You certainly don't want to have to just start giving up cards to this Unalesca. Could possibly be checking Break Zone for an X-Death removal. Counting the numbers.
Could be anything in hand.
Right? I mean, I don't even hate as long as X-Death went to 10k, I don't even necessarily hate that. There's Krista. Ooh, okay.
Oh, that's not what you want to see against Ice Earth.
And it's X-Death again. That's twice Krista has plucked off X-Death.
It's just Zidane.
Yeah.
It's just 3 CP Zidane, folks.
Yeah. Someone tell him it's random. Like, you can't keep picking the same card that's face down. Drop a Shantoto for nothing.
He's shuffling the hand, Romy. Like, you shuffle the hand, put it face down, the opponent picks one.
It's still random. It's not like it specifies how the random must be decided.
Yeah.
And Ryan has continually picked the center card, so... Here is Man in Black. How did we... Oh, okay, we tapped all 3. For a second, I thought I only tapped 2. Gonna power up the Hecaton Kyre. We got a Mist Dragon. Yep. So no target for that currently.
Oh.
Did we lose Nero still? Am I blind? Didn't we have a Nero? Did we never replace this? No, we never replaced the
Never
Nero.
replaced that one, no. Remember we said we pitched one earlier to play it, so there's only one left in deck, so...
Here comes Krista. Do you block this? I mean, he could have a Hecaton, but I guess you don't risk it. There goes a Illusionary Warlock. There's the Skill Toad. Ryan says, all right, let's start eating away at that hand, sir.
Let's party. These 3-drop monsters coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Causing problems.
And with no way to remove that Skill Toad, this is likely Michael's last turn of his non-lockout state. Gonna Mist Dragon. If we have enough for X-Death right here, that would be quite huge. Get back the Mist Dragon. Lady Physalis goes into damage. Yeah, if we can, on a board of 4 characters, if X-Death can remove one of them, that is a big, big play. There's Gabranth. Is this him? Here comes the Lord of the Void. Is it enough? Don't forget to count that Mist Dragon. That's there too. I mean, there's quite a few cards removed, plus the Mist Dragon. I think it's enough.
I have to imagine so, considering they both Mist Dragon each other's break zones at this point.
Yep, and there goes Krista. Shantoto would be spot on here for Mr. Chen. He's still got a full grip of 5 cards in hand. And yep, no, it's a Prish. Okay. Freeze Man in Black. And the Seymour and lock out the Lightning CP.
We don't have the 5 backups here, so X-Death is going to start to really hurt now.
Yeah.
Have to make hard decisions.
X-Death can swing over this Prish too. He's a 10k. Ryan takes a point of damage. It's a Geomancer Crystal, a Knight Crystal backup. And do we just go to the end turn Scale Toad trigger? Yep. And then we have to sack for X Death. Do we get rid of the Prish? I was like, Ryan, don't give up that Toad, man. I guess if you've got another one, then it doesn't matter. But he started to pick up the Toad. I was like, what are you doing? Hodo's still a really clean answer here for Ryan.
Yeah, we got to find her though.
Yeah,
and then
that's true.
again, we're also opening up some pretty dangerous possibilities because we aren't going to be able to exit our own Chantoto off the field this time.
Another Prish. The return of Prish. There we go. Okay, so we got another backup we can sack off if we want, or we can just keep getting rid of this Prish. I'd say we're preventing Man in Black, but I don't think he actually has any other summons to pick up right now anyway, so.
Prish doing her I lived impression.
Right? And there's a bonus burst. We get Rydia. We had a Rydia backup in our break zone. That was it.
We got 2 CP back is what we got.
That's right. I mean, we can, but what it says is, though, is we can remove the Rydia and then just replay it. I don't know what there is to search off of it, but
I was say we got to be running low on Rydias at this point too, though. Like usually it's 3 Rydia, 2 Unalesca. We know both Unalescas are gone, so there's only maybe a Rydia left in deck at this point.
Yeah. Michael will likely just pitch this Vincent to the Scale Toad at the end and keep in his hand a little higher than just being in pure top deck mode. And then he can
that Physalis from being the big problem.
Right.
Again, until that X-Death leaves the field, we really are not in a good situation.
And we can, of course, cast this Misdragon. Did he find the Toto? No, he did get a Geomancer.
Usually when you see 2 Prishes in the RFG zone, you're hoping at least one of them is warped.
Right. We will get rid of Big Hecaton Kyre, so the Misdragon is now... No, we can still use the Misdragon because we don't have to pitch it from hand. On the third Prish, oh my gosh. Daniel, get Doc Brown on the phone. I think we're stuck in a time loop. Call me crazy, but I think I just watched a Prish come down 3 turns in a row on the same targets.
I mean, I guess there's no reason to freeze one backup over the others, but it is funny to lock the Seymour out in case we wanted to gamble on hitting like.
Yeah, you don't want to risk that Lance of Atrophy, although I don't think it has a doll for that. But and yeah, Ryan really is stabilizing fine against this X-Death. Like he technically hasn't. He's lost the same forward over and over again.
Yeah, Prish doing her DD Survivor impression here.
Did we not attack this time? Maybe didn't want to risk the EX birth. I'm kind of surprised he didn't keep sending the X-Death in. Ryan draws for turn. He'd got Shantoto. Oh, if he'd attacked, he might have knocked that Toto into damage. I'm not sure which order Ryan drew them in.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things you just don't know. That's not how randomization works, for better or worse.
And we have a follow-up, too. Well, we're just using the Unalesca trigger. Gets rid of Gabranth. Oh, Kusith. Do we have an X-Death to get back? We're just going to get back Man in Black. Which we can guarantee cast this turn. X-Death would be huge as well. Now that Toto's gone. Pitch Man in Black, 4 Man in Black. We'll go ahead and prep Kusith. Yeah, not a bad one. Can't cast it unless we pitch our hand this turn, which the Unalesca, of course, is just going to rip that last card out anyway. We could Misdragon, although then we'd have to discard whatever we drew off the Misdragon. Yep.
All right.
Do we Misdragon? Nope. Just lets the cryo go. There's Mr. Robo. I was wondering when he was going to come out. Man in Black is gone. We do have a Misdragon and a Kusith in reserve, but Ryan is starting to get to that lockdown state.
Yeah, and we also now have a problem. We got to deal with this Robo, or we're going to start getting cards back. And drawing another card every turn. So not only are we on a low hand size, but our opponent's drawing 3 cards a turn while this guy's around.
Went for the Man in Black. Would have loved another X-Death here.
I mean, Chaos would have been pretty choice.
There he is. Yeah, show me the X-Death. Characters are getting removed.
I wonder if getting the Gabranth for Chaos would have been better here.
Yeah, I like the idea of stealing Roble, and Shantoto is on the board. Yeah, I was gonna say, just removing the Roble, now you can just play the next one.
I would even just leave the Roble and just say, okay, one backup can go bye-bye, and I'll get one back next turn anyway. I guess we just lost them all to the X-Death, didn't we?
Yeah. I understand why, though, because a new Roble lets you get rid of X-Death, which is kind of your main primary function right here.
Vincent. Oh my god, I can't believe this card got printed. Let's see if he does what he's supposed to do. Let's see if we see a turn skip here.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Chaos is amazing with the Toto on the field, but...
And the problem... Oh, that's the other thing, is that this... We can sacrifice that Shantoto and just clear up the Chaos Arc entirely from being a problem.
Yeah. Yeah. X-Death...
Like, that was the only turn we could have done it, would have been to go right there and go for it.
Yeah,
and
Ryan
you're
had
not
no...
getting a better steal than Weiss.
Yeah. Ryan had no issue holding on with this X-Death. Doesn't... He discarded Chaos? Did Michael forget he can cast it for free? I think he didn't must have forgotten he can cast it for free off the Toto.
Didn't get X-Death that turn.
And he had Cisne too. I mean, he couldn't cast the Cisne, but like...
Yeah,
no. Before didn't he RFG it at the end of that turn?
The end of that turn, because you're RFG'd the Roble the previous turn.
Yeah, so he could have played the Chaos that turn and stolen the Vincent. Because he could have played Chaos main phase 1, main phase 2, and because Ryan didn't RFG it till the end of that turn, correct? So he had a moment there to use it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. That's unfortunate.
Oh, 2 Vincents is illegal. Would he lose his backup?
Yeah, you would break both the forward and the backup. I still think you have to go for it there.
Yeah, I don't know if that... yeah, it's hard to say. See, here goes X-Death. This is looking pretty over for Michael. It's if by hard, basically impossible to come out of this lock once it happens.
And there's the dead X-Death too.
Mm-hmm. Are we gonna Vincent to Vincent? Or he's gonna... Looks like he considered it. No, he's not on damage 3 yet. He can't do it. There goes another... He's hit 3 backups into damage. 4th one? Oh my gosh, he hit every Delusionary Warlock into damage. Yeah, but barring another board wipe, yeah, you still take one of his forwards. You're now threatening your Chaos can break it. Like, yeah, it would have stuck to lose your own backup, but...
I mean, if the backup said break my opponent's forward and put Chaos in field, you'd probably do it.
Right.
Like if that's what the text on that backup becomes, which is what it would have been.
Yeah. X-Death will enter once again, but especially with Physalis online, this card is not going to be much of a problem. We'll happily just give up our monster to the end of it. Physalis can Dolphreeze out of the way. Vincent can put him to 6, and then it's... I don't even know what you can draw there to get out of it. Toto, I guess, but you can't even use it without breaking the Vincent.
And that, I mean, you almost are pretty much guaranteed that Vincent's not going to be breakable if he doesn't want you to be able to. Oh my god, the full hand too.
And Vanille. This one's looking pretty over. Kronos, I know he is putting a lot of faith in that X-Death, but to be honest, like, what else does he have in this matchup? Man in Black isn't doing a whole lot for him. Like, X-Death at least removes something off the field. I agree it's clearly not enough, but like, what other cards does he have in his deck that can do something against this kind of board?
Oh, you know what's funny? We're probably going to crack this Vincent to kill the Vincent here.
Nope. It says let it go. Yeah, I don't know if the Chaos play would have even mattered, but you at least got something off his board. You're threatening the Chaos break. You have Arc online potentially. Like, yeah, you would have lost a backup, but pretty swift and quick there for Ryan. poor Michael never really stood much of a chance.
Yep. That looks like a pretty rough matchup, though. Just
It is. Well, and like we said, there's basically nothing that targets the Skill Toad or the Krista. He's got the Ramu for the Biblos, but Biblos never even really made an appearance. So,
and to be fair to Michael, the coup for Cabranth get Chaos that's not an easy line to see. You know, we've played a lot of Final Fantasy today. Players are tired. You know, that's a much more complicated line, and maybe there wasn't a Chaos in the deck or something that, or you know, there's a lot of possibilities there. I'm pretty sure they should have both been in there, but
I wonder. I would be curious if I ever got a chance to talk to Michael. I'd be curious if he forgot that the Shantoto makes it free, or that it was. And I don't want to like break my own Vincent,
yeah,
so
I
I
mean,
don't even want to do that.
he had a line getting it the turn before, and he could have stolen a Roble, which would have been amazing. But
Yeah, that would have been sweet.
like I said, you have to go there and realize coup for Cabranth for Chaos. But
So congratulations to Ryan Shen. He will continue on to the top 4. Unfortunately for the Moogle Man, his run will end here in top 8.
all right, probably going to be a decently long break here.
Yeah, I know the timer, we started it a little late, but it still felt like that went relatively quickly. So I'm assuming the other matches are still going.
Let me go and take a look and see at least how many games are still going.
Sure.
Alrighty, so I do have some updates on how the other matches are going. They are all
Let's hear
still going.
it. No one else finished.
No one else is finished. We got like 2 mono water. We got like a mono water mirror, a wall rainbow good stuff versus mono water, and an ice wind mirror. Those games are going to be for still going.
Yeah.
A lot
So
of them are
good.
still in game 2.
Good time if you need to walk your dog or stretch or go have lunch.
I say
If
there's a
you're,
7-Eleven right down the street. I might go run and grab me something real quick.
yeah, no kidding. Take a break. We'll be back with top 4 whenever it's around. But yeah, it might be a minute. So go ahead and flex, get relaxed, etc.
updates real quick. I don't know if Travis is still here or not. Top
Yep, what do we
four.
got?
Top four is going to start at 3:45. We're going to give our players a quick lunch break.
Oh, okay. Excellent.
And then, yeah, just to clarify what everyone else is saying, it's a mono water mirror, an ice wind mirror, and rainbow wall versus mono water, I believe, are the other matchups that are going right now.
That's a lot of mirrors.
Yep. And then I know that Ryan Chen is going to be playing the winner of the ice wind mirror.